Greetings, and welcome to another Aletheia Games Studios tutorial. My name is Clint Fleetwood, and today's tutorial will be on creating a wave shader in Godot. It's going to be a three-part tutorial. The first part will be setting up the objects in Blender and importing them and changing some of the settings on the Godot project. The second part will be the Fragment Shader, and the third part will be the Vertex Shader. We'll be using the shader graph in this project. So let me just kind of show you what's going on here. As you can see on the screen, you can see that the wave shader is going forward, and it looks pretty good. It's probably not hyper realistic quality, but it's really good for my purposes, and there's probably more things that you could do, monkeying with the shader a little bit. But as you can see, it allows for transparency, so you can see it where the object will be halfway in the water or out of the water, and it does move, and it allows motion as well. The shader itself, you can change the texture, the alpha, so you can make it darker or lighter. Let's see, we'll make it like very light, or we can make it where it's almost completely opaque, where you can barely see through it at all. And you can also create it where the height level is, odd, like, where it just does something silly like that, which that doesn't look as good. Or you can make it where it's very subtle, and so it actually looks really, really nice and very, very subtle, like kind of calmer water. If you make it more subtle like that, you can slow down the speed a lot. Actually, we'll do that speed up. You can slow down the speed of the texture and the speed of the moving texture, so it just looks kind of like just a little wavy, calm water. And you can make it where it repeats more often or less often. So just depending on what your needs are, you can use those various different options in this. And so it could be used for lava in one sense, and for water in another sense, and a lot of different options. And as you can see, it'll play, and it looks pretty nice, in my humble opinion. I think the alpha going down makes it look a little bit better. Yeah, so it looks a little better with the alpha down. But anyway, there's a lot of different options you can do to make a really good looking water. And we could add more later, but this is just kind of a jump start. So let's go ahead and get started with what we need to do to get our project going. I'm going to close this one down. Alright, and we're going to, so this is basically a new project. All I have in here is a tileable texture, and I converted it to grayscale right here in GIMP. There's plenty of tutorials online on how to do that if you don't know how. And so to set up our project, there's one thing, and I don't know if this is entirely necessary, but I've found that when accessing a image from a shader, so let's say we import this image, and you could just give you an example. Just do it. Sorry. Change type. If you actually have an image and you set the repeat, if you set the repeat to repeat on an image, it does not. Right here, what I'm talking about in the flags, if you set it to repeat and you don't have it set in the project, it doesn't work. And so how you set it in the project is you go over here, project settings, image loader, and check repeat on. I think that might be a small bug because it doesn't recognize it from the shader. If you don't, you'll make it on the object itself, set this repeat button, and when it plays in the player, it doesn't actually repeat. It just kind of gets stuck. So that's one thing that you have to remember to do is in the project settings, set that image to repeat. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all. So that's all we have to do to get the project ready. So let's go ahead and open up Blender. If you don't know how to use Blender, there's plenty of tutorials. I'll just say what I'm doing very quickly and kind of describe it, so it'll be very fast. First of all, we don't need this block, or you can leave the block, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do Shift A, and I'm going to add a plane. And then I'm going to put the plane into edit mode, and then I'm going to do S, and then I'm going to do 20, just to make it nice and big. And then I'm going to click over here to the subdivide, and I'm going to make this pretty large, a lot of different subdivisions. I'm going to do 100 cuts, and that's quite a bit. Now that creates each one of these to be a polygon count, and you can see my count up here is 10,000. For my my computer over here, it doesn't seem to have any effect at all. It might cause problems with small GPUs and tablets and phones, but I don't make games for tablets and phones, so I don't know. All I have is my benchmarks with computers. So this may not be a great way to do it if you're going to make tablet games. Your mileage may vary. But basically what's going to happen is when we apply the Vertex Shader, the part that makes a ridge right here will calculate each one of these sections. So the higher this number that you do the subdivisions, the more less jagged, I guess, the less jagged your images or your waves will be. So you could test it out with a lot of different ways of testing it. It's up to you how you want to try that. So that's really all we need to do for this. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap this. I don't know if it's possible to do that in Godot or not, but I've done this in Blender for many times, and so it's just easier for me to do this in Blender. So I just go to what I did is I clicked there, pulled that out, opened up this other panel, put this in UV image editor, and while this is in edit mode, just press U and then unwrap. It takes a second, boom, and what that did is it unwrapped it for normal mapping and not normal mapping, but for UVs. So that's really all I needed to do for this object. Alright, and then now we can add another object. We can add a monkey if you want, and I'm going to put him where it would be in the water. Oh, yeah, if I didn't explain this before, this would be the water. And I said it's smooth. I don't know if it needs to be or not, but I do anyway. I think our shader overrides that. But I like to put the monkey to smooth. And I'm going to rotate him just a little bit, so he'll sit right there. There you go, Suzanne. And then we're going to add another mesh, and I'm going to add an icosphere. And this doesn't really matter. This is just kind of what's going to be sitting in the water. With each one of these, I'm going to go ahead and give it a material, just because it's a little easier to work with. If you have a material, let's go ahead and make this monkey. Let's make it bright green, because everyone likes a green monkey. Yeah, there's nothing else we need to do there. So another material here, we'll create this one as red. These are just basically contrasting colors for the, and I'm gonna make it smooth too, just because that's what I want to do. And we need a material here as well. We may not have to have one, but it's just, I like go ahead and adding the material. Right. So that's really all we need to do in Blender to have this ready to go. So the next step is we need to export it. And when we export it, we're going to do File, Export. And if you have not installed Better Collida, you need to go to the Godot website and download the Better Collida. And just click right here, and you got to go find your project. Projects, Wave Shader Tutorial. Alright, and I'm just going to make this scene.dae. Scene.dae. And I'm going to apply modifiers, even though I don't really have any. And I don't have any images either. So just change, so that's really all I need to do. And so I can export. Boom. Alright, so that is our scene, and it's ready to go. So let's hop over into Godot. And we need to import the scene now. I'm not going to save this. So we need to import a scene, so you can go to Import, Scene, and I just put it in the root folder, which is probably not the best choice normally. And I think that's all I need to do there. You can actually change the type to something besides spatial if you want. And yep. So import. Alright, and so we have the scene.scene. Unfortunately, the importing does not make T-scenes right now. I don't know if there's a setting to change that, but it's okay. It doesn't really hurt anything. Alright, so here we go. We have this, and we can play it. And it looks just like that. And that's all we have. We should be it, and that's all you need to do to be ready for the next step, where we're going to start applying shaders to this plane that we'll call water. Alright, well, stay tuned. The next tutorial should be up very quickly after this one. As always, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any ideas that may make this better, again, several of you have already given me some suggestions, and I really do appreciate it. So, yeah. So, anyway, stay tuned, and the next tutorial will be up very soon.